From the studios of the Department of Communication in Phillipsburg, welcome to Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister
Welcome to Prime Minister
Silveria
Talks.
Jacobs.
I am Silveria Jacobs, Prime Minister of St. Martin, and joined here today by a welcome guest, the Honorable Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, Mr. Omar Otley. And also it's great, it's worked out perfectly, as yesterday was World Cancer Day. And so it is great for us to be aware of all the ills that hit our people, but we've seen a rise in cancer lately. So I'm asking the people of St. Martin, get yourselves checked, do regular checkups to ensure we can catch it in time and also prevent it. I must also give a shout out to the Heart and Stroke Foundation, who are celebrating their month. So that's why I'm wearing red today. In honor of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and I will continue to support the foundation in bringing awareness to our health to ensure that we have good heart health and avoid getting strokes. So do what you can, follow them on all of their programs that they're doing this month to be aware of how to take care of you. Now, welcome, Minister Otley. It's always my pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. Good day, St. Martin. And I too would like to say, although it was yesterday, a happy World Cancer Day. It is something that we are seeing becoming more and more prevalent within our community, within the world. So I ask all the ladies to get your checkup, all the men do the same, man up, and let's catch it early.
Thank you. So as you all know, we've been dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic for 2 years, literally.
Yeah.
It's been a journey for the world, but of course, being a small island development state and our vulnerability with depending on outsiders to keep our economy going, we have had to take several measures. And we had a surge, of course, expected after the Christmas holidays. What can you tell us about how we're dealing with COVID right now?
Thank you, Prime Minister. At the moment, last recorded, we had 495 active cases. Unfortunately, 7 people remain hospitalized. The hospital, we are seeing a revolving door. As, for instance, 4 leave, 3 might come, 3 leave, 3 might come back. So we're seeing a revolving door. However, we are noticing a decrease in that as well. So I'm thankful for that. We remain at 79 deaths. Out of that, 5 persons were fully vaccinated. We put these stats not to be discriminatory or to create a separation, but we do it to show the numbers. We do it to show that actually the vaccine is working. So we hope to reach out by some people, because I know me, I would rather be within the 5 than the 74 if you ask me. So we are currently at a 6.9% positivity rate. This is real good. 3 weeks ago, we were at above 20% probability.
Minister, I'm going to interrupt you. Please, your customer dealing with these numbers and what they mean, explain in layman's terms, what does that positivity rate really mean?
Okay. So what we do, we take the amount of persons tested, and then we take the amount of persons positive, and we get the percentage of that. So out of, for instance, 100 persons, we have 7 persons, 6.9, but let's say 7 persons out of 100 will be positive.
See, that's good to know.
3 weeks ago, out of 100 persons, 25 would be positive. So according to the WHO, the threshold that we want to maintain is 5% or under.
Right.
So we are doing very, very
in terms
good.
of decreasing.
Yes. So we're just monitoring within the next couple of weeks before we take any other decisions, as far as extension of nightlife, business hours, etc.
Okay, I think that's good information to give. And I like daily, I touch base with you. I'm like, I think you need to elucidate this a little more. Because having been there myself, back then, it had to be like a daily update. It was new. People weren't, but right now we got COVID fatigue. People kind of sick of it. So they don't even pay attention to everything you say. So when you do come out, it's always important that it's clear and that people know what it means for their day-to-day life. So I'm happy to see that the positivity rate is going down. We have our partners on the French side as well in the north. How close is the discussion there, the correlation of measures, etc.?
Well, definitely the CPS and the ARS, that's the French side, the counterpart, they are definitely in close contact. we have open borders. It's one country, one island, one destiny. So definitely what happens on either side of the island affects the other. So there's close contact, as you know, Prime Minister, before any decision is made, whether it's to scale back or to reopen, we have conversations. So we try to keep it as close as possible, maintain communication, and it's been going very good so far.
Okay, I do know that based on the fact that I have to be in contact with the prefect, but I think it's good that the people know also. And so in terms of their rates, are they similarly going down?
Yes, correct. In which we predicted COVID, the resurgence normally have about an 8 to 10 week span of, before it peaks. And then the good thing about Omicron is that so much of us had it together that the recovery rates were great. So right now, if you notice, Friendside, they had 1 a.m., but the last time we checked, they had 5 persons hospitalized, and we were at 8.
Yeah.
So we are on a downward trend, and then we would then too adjust.
Right, because we have our protocols
Correct.
Based on hospitalization.
Correct.
Okay, great. If you're just joining us, this is Prime Minister Talks. I have here with me the Health Minister. We're focused on health for today. Awareness of cancer is key for all of us to be healthy. A lot of things can contribute to that. So as we're talking to the Health Minister throughout this broadcast, I'll be reminding you. So stay tuned, come back.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylvaria Jacobs.
St. Martin, listen up. The Civil Registry Department has taken 7 services online. That's right, you can now request a family tree, local address change, migration deregistration, a registration form, requests for existing certificates, transfer your driver's license, and a driver's license declaration, all online. Go to services.stmartingov.org/civil registry and easily complete a request form for the service that you need. You can also pay for the services online using a major credit card or debit card and receive certain final products digitally as well. No traffic jams, no waiting in lines, and if you're on island or off, you now have full digital access to 7 civil registry services at services.stmartingov.org/civil registry. That's services.stmartingov.org/civil registry. For more information, call 542-0652. Now go online and request your service form today.
Are you planning on getting married? When getting married on St. Martin, you have to submit a marriage intention by the Civil Registry. This can only be done by 2 persons of opposite sex. This request, whether in person or in writing, must be submitted at least 14 days before the date of marriage. During that time, the Civil Registry verifies the marital status of each individual getting married. If the marriage does not take place within 1 year, the marriage intention process has to start over. The following documents needed are a detailed birth certificate. Unmarried persons must present a declaration of marital status. If widow, a death certificate. If divorce, a divorce certificate. All documents must be originals, not older than 3 years, and may require legalization. Additional information and documents needed are passport copies of the bride, groom, and witnesses. All foreign documents must be translated in Dutch or English. The price for contracting marriage depends on your choice of location and day of the ceremony, whether at the marriage hall or away from the marriage hall, and will be minimum 315 guilders or maximum 725 guilders. Non-Dutch nationals requires attending an interview at the Immigration Department. Marriages will be performed after all documents are found correct by the Civil Registrar. The law separates church from state. Witnesses are minimum 2 and maximum 6. Please contact the Civil Registry Department for more information before planning your marriage.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylvaria Jacobs.
Welcome back to Prime Minister Talks. I'm here with the Honorable Minister Otley of the Health Ministry, and we're talking about the COVID-19 situation on St. Martin. And of course, we are striving to return to normalcy. You said a little bit about it in this week's press briefing. What can you share more in depth with the people of St. Martin as it regards our strategy as we move towards normalcy?
Thank you again, Prime Minister. Definitely. This is the reality of it. COVID is going to be around possibly for a lifetime. As the flu started as a pandemic as well, and now is an endemic. We are now moving into the endemic nature, where the disease will be prevalent within the community. Omicron has exposed that you can get the virus not only once, but twice, and some people have even got it 3 times. So this will be a reoccurring virus. The effects will not be as severe, of course, but it will be reoccurring. So what we need to do is prepare our country to live with it. What does this mean? So once everything level off, we will then move away from CPS conducting mass testing. Testing will be the responsibilities of the GPs, the labs, and the testing facilities. Just as now, if you're ill, you don't go to CPS. You go to your doctor. Your doctor then advises you what to do, whether to stay home, how many days you need, etc. We will maintain the quarantine periods as CDC and the WHO regulations. We will see if we need to downscale or upscale, but for right now, we just adjusted. So if you do not have any symptoms, but you are positive, you are required to quarantine or isolate for 7 days. We reduced it from 10. If you are unvaccinated, we reduced it from 14 to 10 days. They will still maintain the course of action that you do not need to exhibit any symptoms for 48 hours if you're vaccinated, or 72 hours if you're unvaccinated.
To return to work.
To return to work or, your regular life. To be released from isolation or quarantine.
Okay.
So that's part of it. Another part of the exit strategy, AKA our normalcy strategy, back to normalcy strategy, is we will now have SZV. We're in conversation with them to see what percentage of tests can be covered. In some countries, they are covering up to 5 tests per month, insurance companies. So we are trying to see, without putting a dire strain on SZV, as you know, the funds is already, not as we would like it. So we're in conversation with them with that aspect. We are also in conversations with the inspectorate to increase sanctions in collaboration with the Labor Department, because we don't want business owners to now think that COVID don't exist. So now if your worker is positive, you still need to respect the quarantine and isolation time. Do not call them back to work before they are released from CPS or their GP, general practitioner. So all of these things have to be in place. Another thing we will then move away from is the closures of business or the scale back of business hours. We believe now that persons know what to do. We have been, you said it yourself, COVID-19, we are in 2022. So we know what to do at this point, and we just need to come to terms that this is the new norm. This is the new normal, and we have been trendsetters, as you know, Prime Minister. We have been one of the first to accept vaccinated persons without testing. A lot of people thought we were crazy, but now we see the rest of the world is doing
Following
it.
suit.
The WHO also, based on their research, we saw big reports from Puerto Rico. They're now doing it. We were one of the first that announced that we will possibly continue a carnival. Now we see that Trinidad, Dominica, other countries are doing it. So I think that we definitely have been dealing with COVID in the right manner. We have found a balance, because I am also Minister of Labor. So I need to find that balance. And I think we have been doing an amazing job from the onset, from when you were in control of the COVID-19 with the state of emergency. So now you advise a lot, and I thank you for that. And I just want St. Martin to know, with this normalcy strategy, do not panic. I'm trying to prepare you for the realities of life. And the reality is we need to continue living. We cannot continue living, like the old people say, foot them out.
Hand to foot.
Hand to foot, day to day. We can't continue living like that. So definitely that's part of the normal strategy.
Well, I'm very, we have these discussions in the Council of Ministers as well, and any opportunity that I can share information with the people of St. Martin, I really felt that this was something the people need to understand. So currently we are receiving assistance from the Netherlands with the tests right? So that's why in moving to normalcy, we have to figure out how to foot the bill
Yes.
for the testing as well. It's costing government still, even though the tests are provided, we still have to pay all the extra personnel, etc. When there's a surge, when you have to have all these persons doing the back office work with you, and your staff have also volunteered to do. How was that experience?
It was good. it was a good experience. It really shows you what CPS go through. I would like to take this moment to really thank them. They have been in the forefront.
The backbone, the
they
front
have been
bone.
the backbone, and I really thank them. So it's, at time to time, it's good to go in the trenches with your staff, and then you can really see what they go through, and it helps me to better understand, because I like things done. I like pressure. I like things done.
Let's go.
So it helps me understand that, okay, Minister, maybe you need to take a step back, understand for them, and take a different approach. So it really helps.
So in terms of, yes, definitely CPS is, like, for me, like, I have a huge respect for what they do, and all of the volunteers too, because we've had a lot of persons, even though we give them a little something, mostly retired nurses, and so we couldn't do it without them. In terms of the funding, is there no possibility in terms of the discussions within the kingdom for any period of time to continue to at least have the free tests?
Actually, before the Omicron, we were actually told by the Netherlands that we would now have to foot the bill for the testing. So we're in discussions. I must say, though, with the resurgence, we requested 15 to 18,000 tests, and they were delivered. So I would like to thank them for that. But definitely, like you stated, Prime Minister, at some point, the responsibility will be back on us. And I would like to say that the tests that we conduct, we call it free testing, but it's not free. We are actually paying a percentage of it. It's free to the public. It's free to the community. But the government all along has been contributing towards the bill of the test.
Right. So especially what happens at the labs. So we have to pay the labs. The tests themselves we get, but everything else we have to pay for.
No.
And
even
we've been
the
paying
testing,
for the tests as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
even
wow.
the testing at CPS, we pay for those testing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we pay.
Yes. So I'm free for you,
Yes.
but paid from government's
That's
coffers.
why I always
Yes.
say that the government, and I am very content, we have done all that we can. We provided free vaccination, free testing. You know, it's for the public, but we pay, but it's for the public. So we are definitely pushing and trying to lead in the right direction.
And with the return to normalcy, or the trajectory to get to normal with the boosters and the vaccines, also be still free to the public, or would
Yes.
that go still via the GPs as well and have to be paid?
At the moment, we want to keep it at CPS.
Okay.
But eventually, it will be, the process will adapt towards your GPs.
And your goal for that normalcy, what was the time period you mentioned?
We're looking at May 2022, based on research, and scientists predict that the lowest point of COVID will be April, May.
Okay, so if you're just joining us, I'm here with the Honorable Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor. But today we're focusing strongly on health. We're in the month of February. People say it's the month of love and everybody wants to wear red because of that. But I'm wearing red today in honor of the Heart and Stroke Foundation. And I think they chose red because of the heart and because of the blood and how much that is influenced to avoid strokes and so on. So stay tuned. We'll be coming up on the last segment of Prime Minister's Talk for today in a few minutes.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylvia Jacobs.
So, you want to join the Dutch Caribbean Coast Guard? You obviously got very high standards. Now is the time to get started. Every Saturday, starting January 22nd until February 19th, get down to the Walter Plant Square in Phillipsburg at 8 a.m. sharp for the Dutch Caribbean Coast Guard pre-test to see if you have what it takes to be a Coast Guard officer. For more information, visit kustwacht.org. The Dutch Caribbean Coast Guard, St. Maarten. Strong together.
The government of St. Martin would like to announce the 2022 procedures for paying vehicle tax. Starting January 1st, 2022, along with the in-person payments and bank transfers, it is now possible for the public to pay online with a credit and/or debit card. Visit services.stmartingov.org for more information on electronic bank transfers. The business community and other organizations are requested to submit a copy of the following documents for their vehicle fleet and/or employees: 1. A valid insurance card, 2. A valid inspection card, and 3. Proof of online payment. The above documents can be dropped off in the receiver's drop box located at the Government Administration Building. Please ensure your documents are sealed in an envelope with your company and/or organization name and contact number. This option is also possible for independent groups such as family members, friends, etc., who wish to receive their number plates in bulk to avoid long lines. Please note this is only applicable for 6 persons or more. You will be contacted within 3 working days to pick up your receipts and number plates. For more information on rates and tariffs, please visit the government's website, services page, and the official Facebook page.
Prime Minister Talks with Honorable Prime Minister Sylvia Jacobs.
Welcome back to Prime Minister Talks. We're here in the last segment now of our discussion with the Honorable Minister of Health, Minister Otley. We focused a lot on the health situation. I really want to thank you, Minister, for the hard work that you have put in. You've gone in the trenches, as you mentioned, to see exactly how your CPS staff is dealing with it. We based you came up with a new strategy in terms of we're only going to scale back based on hospitalization and the stress on the public health sector. And we managed that without going overboard, even in the highest numbers we had ever seen. And people were panicking, but I must say, you were able to handle it together with your ministry and, with the support of your COM very, very well. So thank you for your hard work. Thank you, of course, to the hardworking departments that play a huge role in this. But you do have a broader portfolio. And what is your major project or focus for 2022? We have just received also our deviation to establish our budget. So hopefully by next week, latest the week after, we can ratify that budget so that rollout can happen. So what are you waiting on that budget for?
Thank you. Definitely. That was some amazing news that we got yesterday. I knew it was going to happen. And I would like to, you and the other prime ministers and the COM, we stuck to our guns. We stood for what we believed in. And the new state secretary heard your vision, heard our concerns, and definitely, I'm grateful for that. And within this budget, we can do a lot of things because this budget is what is going to take us to the next level. This budget is what's going to take us to normalcy. This budget had stuff like increase of testing for vulnerable groups, for those who cannot afford it. This budget had money for legislative lawyers to do some of the things that I'm going to speak about. So definitely I'm happy. One of the main focus is the big legislation. What happened is we do not have our own legislation when it pertains to medical specialists coming to St. Martin to work. So what we did, we adapted that of the Netherlands. And of course, within that legislation, in the Netherlands, it states you need to be a vehicle registered, which means a certified school within the Netherlands or the European countries. So of course that it's good for the Netherlands, but it limits us very drastically. One of the biggest cries I've heard even before I've been in politics is the logic of we ship people to Colombia, Panama, Santo Domingo to do cases that we may not be able to handle here medically. But those same doctors are not allowed to come to St. Martin and work. Something is off. It don't make sense.
Make it make sense, Lord.
Yes, we're trying to. So now we're in the process of doing our research, have our legislative lawyers working and doing amendments. We actually found from I think it's 1998 when in the commissioner days where there was legislation that allowed doctors from Cuba and different places to come to St. Martin. That was actually signed off in the 1990s. So this research is proven beneficial. So we're using that and the basis from that to create our new law to allow experts from within the regions to come. We have also teamed up with Aruba. Aruba has been a very good partner, I must say, whether it's COVID, whether it's legislation.
Across the board.
Yeah, across the board. A very, very good partner. You always get a response. And we are always somehow in the same trajectory. So definitely Aruba has offered to assist us as they have altered their BIC as well. So we will now form a committee to judge the criterias of the persons within the regions before we allow them to come to Aruba or St. Martin to participate in operation of medical procedures. What we are also working on is formalizing some SZV legislations. For instance, the simple fact of referrals. We do it based on a humanitarian or emergency base where we send persons to Colombia, Panama, but legislatively, we are only allowed to send them to Curacao.
Wow.
Because we still operate off of
The Farmer Netherlands
the farm.
Antilles.
Yes. So those are stuff that we are formalizing. Some other stuff is the 62 plus insurance, where persons who do not qualify for government insurance over the age of 60, we insure them with SZV automatically. We do this on a humanitarian basis.
Again.
But to formalize. So we are working on a lot of legislations on things that just needs to be done correctly. We have the NCD. I know you're going to like this one. This is Non-Communicable Disease Plan for prevention. Prevention, we believe that spending money on prevention can save us millions on cure. This was signed off by my person. So it's definitely in the progress. It has stuff like of course, the COM has to take a decision on syntax, whether with alcohol, tobacco, promotion of healthy living, healthy lifestyle. We also had a presentation with SZV, so we're going to do a collaboration where we're going to create a dashboard to have more specific details, Prime Minister. One of the things that is so important with this dashboard, it can show prevalent diseases in certain areas. For instance, based on the information that we will record, we will see if persons living in Madam Estate or the Sucker Garden area is more prevalent to cancer. Then we maybe can link it, I hope not, to a source, the dump or whatever it may be. So, that's what we're really trying to see, what is going on, and we can know what areas, and it's a process. It's not going to be overnight, but it's a working process. So I'm very, very happy for that. And like I stated, I know that you are a big stickler for prevention and exercising. I don't only promote the vaccine, I promote the healthy living, go to the gym every morning. So I'd like to encourage everyone, please get up, take 30 minutes of your day, exercise. It can save you years in your life.
That is so, so true. I mean, I'm seeing it on me now. I don't get to do that as often as I like, and I'm feeling the effects. So we have to prioritize ourselves. Minister, we've come down to the last few minutes, and I really, regrettably, we're done. I need you to, give your closing statement to the people of St. Martin. You have a minute, and take it away.
Thank you. The time goes so fast.
When you're having fun.
When you're having fun. I would just like to take this moment to thank the ambulance department, CPS, the labor department, public health, social development, mental health foundation, as we are seeing a lot of increase. I would like to thank the nurse and the staff of SMMC. I would like to thank the COM for supporting me with the decisions. Sometimes the decisions may seem far-reaching, but at the end we understand and we try to respect each other's vision, So I would like to just say thank you for that support. Thank you for all the supporters who believe in me as Minister of Health. Even those that don't, my job is still to take care of you. So thank you. At the end of the day, COVID is something that we have to learn to live with. And I just hope that with this new normalcy strategy, we can just adapt the best way possibly.
Thank you so much for being our guest here on Prime Minister Talks. Minister Otley, you're always welcome. We can actually do a once-a-month thing because it's always dynamic and changing as we move toward normalcy. I ask the people of St. Martin to always stay tuned to the government information services we have via DCOM on our website, 1079 radio station. We have also Inside Government and so many platforms where you can get the real information. We are all about being as transparent as we can be in the moment. Sometimes we have to delay some information to ensure it's accurate, to ensure that we don't create a panic, to make sure we can package it so that it is palatable to the people of St. Martin. And with everything we do, it is with the goal to ensure that we are doing it for you. So as we come to the end of this Prime Minister Talks, I must say it was informative even for me, who is in the Council of Ministers every week with the minister. But stay tuned, stay updated, stay safe, and always be aware that you are the one in charge of your life. Be safe, be healthy. Until next time.